Hi, I'm Nellie from San Francisco. Please like and subscribe. My mom worked as a caretaker at a rich old man's home, and Dad was a street vendor who sold chocolates. My sister, Jenna, who was 2 years older, took care of me while our parents were at work. Once when I was 7, Mom took me and Jenna to the mansion where she worked, and it was massive. The old man who lived there couldn't move around much and had no family, so Mom did everything for him. Feeling curious, I sneaked into his room to see him. Just then, I saw him struggling to reach for the glass of water, and I ran forward to help. He smiled and asked,
"Oh, such a lovely girl. What's your name?"
"Nellie, and what's yours, sir?"
You can call this old man anything you like, little Nellie.
I started enjoying his company, and he loved mine. But Jenna never cared to meet him. She would just come to watch TV at the mansion every day. Once in the 5th grade, I was asleep when Jenna poked me awake at night and said she had something to show me. To my shock, it was a really expensive-looking watch. Oh my God, where'd you get this from? I found it in the drawer at the mansion. Isn't it cool? No, it's not cool, dummy. It's stealing. But no one's ever going to wear this. Think of the stuff we could buy if we sell it, Nellie. No way! You have to put it back, or I'll tell Mom and Dad and the old man. She made an annoyed face, but the next day she took it with her to return it. When we got to the mansion, though, we received some shocking news. The old man was gone. I was heartbroken to hear it. Soon after, the old man's lawyer showed up, and Mom sent me and Jenna away while they talked in the study. The minute the lawyer left, we heard screams, and we found Mom and Dad dancing.
We're billionaires. The old man left all his money to us. This is the happiest day of our lives.
We're rich? Nellie, can you believe it? It's all ours now.
This watch? Mine.
And before I knew it, we'd moved into his mansion, and my family went on a shopping spree. They were spending money like crazy. Nellie, buy some fancy clothes, please. We're joining the new school with all the rich kids. We need to look like them. No thanks. Designer dresses aren't my thing. We were enrolled in the best private school in town. Since both Jenna and I loved dancing since we were kids, I went to sign up for the school's dance club right away and found her there too. We auditioned, and I was excited when we were both selected, but Jenna was acting like she didn't even know me. The next day, I was sitting by myself in the cafeteria when a girl walked over and said, "Hey, get lost, kid. This is Amy's table." But there are so many other empty tables, and who's Amy? I'm Amy, and Amy always sits on this one. She suddenly picked up my plate of spaghetti and rubbed it all over my shirt. There, your t-shirt is designer now. Original art by Amy. I was about to smack her when suddenly I saw Jenna marching over to my table with a glass of juice. But when she came close, she threw it straight at my face. Didn't you hear Amy the first time? Move it. As the two high-fived, I ran off to wash the juice out of my eyes. What was wrong with Jenna? As I washed my face and looked up, I saw Jenna standing behind me. Do you want to explain what just happened there, super jerk? Yeah, I'm here to explain it, so listen closely. You want to be a loser? Fine. But I want to start over with my life, and I'm gonna be popular. So you better not tell anyone that we're sisters, okay? And with that, she just walked off. Which? She and Amy kept bothering me in school, but I tried ignoring them and focusing on getting better at dancing. And within a few years, I was officially a part of the school's dance team. The studio was my happy place. But I couldn't say the same about home. Jenna and Mom were too busy partying and attending fancy events, while Dad was always out driving his luxury cars, and I was often all alone. At least we spent some time together before we got all this money. But to my surprise, I found out that Mom was throwing a huge party on my 15th birthday. When I stepped out into the pool area that evening, I was really surprised because I couldn't spot anyone from my class. They were all Jenna's friends. And standing next to the cake, all ready to cut it, was freaking Amy. What are you doing, weirdo? It's my birthday.
Your birthday? Oh my God, I completely forgot.
Well, looks like you and Amy have the same birthday.
Jenna asked me to throw a big party for her gorgeous friend. Maybe you can both cut the cake together?
No thanks, Mom. I'm good. Yeah, Amy's not sharing space with this poorly dressed loser. The photos have to go up on my Instagram. Yeah, sure, I'm the loser, but so are you. It's pretty lame that someone else's mother had to throw you a birthday party. Where's your own mom? Amy leapt forward to attack me, but I pushed her off and she landed straight in the cake. She pounced at me again, and as we wrestled, we both ended up falling into the pool. Amy started to scream and cry because her look was ruined, and Mom and Jenna started screaming at me. Ugh, they were all unbelievable. I just stormed off, cleaned up, and snuck out to go to school, to the dance studio. I turned on the music, but suddenly I saw a strange figure behind me in the mirror, and I screamed. Who are you? Why are you sneaking up on me, creep?
Hey, relax. I'm Daniel. My parents donated this dance studio to the school. I come here every evening to practice. You're the one interrupting.
I couldn't think of a reply, so I just walked out, but he followed me.
I didn't mean to offend you, and you don't have to go. Maybe you could dance with me?
I looked straight into his dreamy blue eyes, and I couldn't refuse. Yeah, why not? We danced and then talked for hours. I found out he was my senior in school and already part of an established dance group. We grew close and always met at the studio. It was our spot, and soon I had a pretty big crush on him. Once Jenna saw me talking to Daniel on the playground, and as soon as he left, she ran to me.
Hello, my little sister.
Little sister? Aren't you afraid someone will hear you? Oh, you're funny. BT Dubs, how do you know Daniel? He's so cute, and I've had a crush on him since the first day. Are you guys friends? Please introduce me to him. Wait, what? Jenna liked Daniel? My heart just sank hearing that. I liked him too, but I couldn't hurt my sister. The same evening, I met Daniel and decided to talk to him. Daniel, I need to tell you something. My sister, Jenna, I think she likes you. She's super cute, and you both will be great together. I can introduce her to you sometime.
Jenna. Oh, yeah, I've met her, but she isn't really my type. And besides, there's someone else.
And with that, he took my hand and my heart was racing.
It's you. I like you, Nellie.
And suddenly he leaned in for a kiss. Just as our lips touched, the door burst open and Jenna barged in with Amy right behind her. Oh my God. Good thing I told you to follow her, Jenna. Amy's always right about people. Jenna stared at me with pure rage. Wow, my own sister stabbing me in the back? You act like you're so innocent, but you're such a snake. Jenna, this isn't what it looks like. I didn't mean to. What, did you just fall on his lips? I'll tell you what it looks like. I told you I liked someone, and the next thing I know, you're in his arms? Just to get back at me, huh?
Jenna, I kissed her, and I'm sorry, but I like her.
Oh, shut up. Do you even think I care about you? I care about my sister betraying me. Jenna, please. I tried talking to her so many times after that, but she didn't listen to a word, and I felt terrible. Even at home, she would act as if I was invisible. And soon after, I found out that as the dance team captain, she'd kicked me out of the team and replaced me with Amy. What? We were participating in a national level competition soon. When I told everything to Daniel, he came up with an idea.
Why don't we enter the competition as a separate act? You don't need to be part of the school team to do that.
I agreed, and on the day of the competition, Jenna had no idea we were participating. When our names were announced, Jenna's jaw just dropped open. We danced really well, and the whole audience got on their feet to applaud us. Jenna's act was right after ours, and it started off smoothly. But right in the middle, Amy forgot all her steps. As she fumbled around on the stage, she went crashing straight into Jenna, and the two landed on their butts. The entire crowd burst out laughing as Jenna screamed at Amy. "You've ruined everything, clumsy idiot. Just get off of me." Amy and the whole team just stormed off the stage. At the end of the competition, I was shocked when Daniel and I won. As we were handed out trophies, Jenna climbed onto the stage and attacked me. "This belongs to me, you witch. You just keep stealing things that belong to me." "I didn't take anything that was yours. If this trophy makes you happy, have it. Here, I dedicate this to Jenna. the loser who can't accept defeat. And I just left the stage. She was crazy. A few days later, our school was hosting a charity event, and all the parents were a part of it. Mom donated a huge amount of money, and later she was called onto the stage and given an award. Just then, I saw Amy climb onto the stage too, and she snatched the mic from the host. Thanks to Jenna's mom for donating such a huge amount to the poor. You came from the same background, so you understand them completely, of course. Jenna told me how you guys were so poor. You were cleaning toilets at a rich man's house. And now look at you. Wow. Mom's jaw dropped, and so did Jenna's. Everyone started whispering. Really? She used to be a maid? But she tells everyone she was born a billionaire. Mom ran through the crowd until she found Jenna and pulled her aside. That little brat, Amy. What did you tell her? I'm sorry, Mom. I didn't know she was going to publicly announce that. My reputation is ruined because you couldn't keep your mouth shut. What will they think of me now? That I was poor? Yes. What's wrong with that? I didn't know we had to be ashamed of our past. And if money is all your friends care about, you should get new friends. It's not a secret that Jenna had to hide. Jenna just stood there silently, and I turned to her. Jenna, I know you hate me, but I swear, I met Daniel way before I knew you liked him. I would never hurt you intentionally. You're my sister, and I miss the old you who used to take care of me and dance with me. Jenna suddenly started to cry and hugged me. Nellie, I'm sorry for being such a jerk. I just wanted nice things and to be treated nicely. And all the money, it just got to my head. I started behaving badly just to fit in with the rich kids. And I knew Daniel didn't like me, but I still acted like a fool. I've missed you too. I was so glad to have my sister back. But Mom suddenly leapt towards me. You're such a stupid girl. But Dad stopped her.
How dare you? Have you forgotten all this money is Nellie's?
Wait, what? Dad then told me the old man had left everything to me, and once I turned 16, I was the only one who could decide how it would be used. Seriously? You've just been misusing my money all these years? And I bet you were never gonna tell me, Mom. I'll make sure you don't spend a penny on another stupid thing again. Hi, I'm Nicole from Canada. Please like and subscribe because MSA will give $1,000 to one lucky person who subscribes in the next 7 days. My parents are both successful lawyers who graduated at the top of every class ever. University, school, and probably preschool. Education was everything to them. It was so important that they had me registered in a really fancy school before I was even born, because it had a long waiting list. Before I started, my parents wanted to make sure I knew all the basics. A is for astronaut, and
Butterbug! Look, Mommy! I made a butterbug!
that's a butterfly with a B. Why is it so hard for you, Nicole? From the moment I joined kindergarten, I hated school. I couldn't sit still and focus on the lessons like the other kids, and it was so dumb that we couldn't talk to each other in class. Even when I silently sent paper airplanes to my friends, it made the teachers mad. They started making me sit outside the class often, and I loved it because I would draw in peace. It was the only thing I wanted to do. Once in 4th grade, my math teacher, Mrs. Mueller, was going on and on about frickin' fractions, and I started doodling. I drew her in my notebook with a horse's head on top of her body. It was so funny, I giggled. And the next second, she was glaring down at me.
Are you drawing in my class, Nicole? What's this? A horse's head on a woman's body? That's so stupid.
I think it's you, Mrs. Mueller. The whole class burst out laughing. I was immediately sent to the principal's office, and my parents were called in. My teachers had tons of complaints, but my parents wouldn't hear it.
This is ridiculous. Nicole is probably bored because the teachers are boring. It's their fault.
Well, it turns out it was my fault because I left that school and went to 3 others, but I wasn't doing much better. And when it was time for high school, my parents decided to send me to a normal one.
Why spend money on a fancy school when you don't even care? You want to waste your time drawing? Fine by us.
I felt bad for letting them down, but I was relieved I was going to an easier school now. On the first day at recess, I just sat down at an empty table when suddenly someone grabbed my arm. I looked up to see a girl with purple hair.
Get up, punk. This table's mine.
Maybe we can share it.
Can't you see? There just isn't enough space for my friends. You're sitting in Luna's spot.
Who's Luna and where is she?
She's standing right next to you, dummy.
I couldn't see anyone next to me. Was she crazy? I left the table, and as I was walking away, I saw her take out a chocolate bar and start eating it with a knife and fork while she talked to her imaginary friends. Just then, I heard someone call my name, and I turned to see Darren. He was Dad's best friend's son, and I had no idea he was at the same school. I joined him at his table and asked him about the purple-haired girl.
Ella? She is trouble. Apparently, she's been to juvie twice. I don't even know why she comes to school. She's never been to class. Such a weirdo. Just stay away from her.
Darren and I were in different classes, but we started hanging out whenever we could, and I was really glad to have a friend here. A few days later, I was sitting out on the bleachers and drawing when suddenly I heard Ella screaming in a megaphone at the football team.
You guys suck. My grandma can play better than you, and she's dead. Why don't you let me play with you, huh?
Oh, do I scare you, you little scaredy cats? Afraid to get beaten by a girl?
Shut up, Ella. Unless you want to be a cheerleader, just buzz off.
All the boys laughed and went back to practice. Suddenly, Ella dashed onto the field, grabbed the ball, and ran away. The whole team started shouting and running after her. One boy caught up to her and pushed her to the ground, and I jumped up as the two struggled over the ball. Hey, knock it off! Don't hurt her! I pulled the boy away and helped her up, and she instantly kicked him in the knees. He was about to attack her when the coach arrived on the scene and the boys left grumbling.
I could have handled that myself.
Oh, I'm sure you're a superhero who could have fought 10 boys alone. Or were your imaginary friends gonna help you? She looked at me and suddenly burst out laughing.
I have 3 stupid foster brothers, so I know how to deal with boys. Also, I don't have imaginary friends. People think I'm weird, so I act weird.
She sat down on the bleachers and suddenly noticed my sketchbook.
You drew this?
Yeah, drawing's the only thing I love. I hate attending classes.
Me too. How about you don't go to class and we'll draw each other?
I gave her a paper and some pencils, and we sat there drawing for a while, our shoes touching. As I looked at her closely, I realized she was actually beautiful. When we exchanged our sketches, I burst out laughing. She just made a stick figure. Yeah, I lied. I can't draw.
But wow, Nicole,
you're amazing. I love it. I was so happy to hear that. But just then the bell rang and I had to go. We agreed to meet at the same spot the next day. As I was walking down the hallway, Darren caught up with me.
Hey, what are you doing with Ella? I told you, she's bad news.
I don't think she is, Darren. Maybe you shouldn't believe everything people say.
Listen, I'm just looking out for you because you're my friend. Don't hang out with her, okay?
He was starting to annoy me a little. If I wanted to hang out with Ella, I was gonna. So I kept coming up with excuses to ditch him and see Ella after school. And each day with her was an adventure. She showed me the best viewpoint of the city, and we went swimming in a gorgeous lake. We also had some of the fanciest free food in town because Ella was friends with the chef. One afternoon, Ella took me to some house and told me to hide in the bushes. Then she took off her backpack, which was full of rocks, and started hurling them at the windows. Oh my God, what are you doing? That's my last foster mom's house, and she's horrible. You gonna help me or not? Without another thought, I started picking up rocks and throwing them too. Just then, someone spotted us and started yelling. I grabbed Nicole's arm. Time to run! We ran like crazy till we left the house far behind, and we collapsed on the ground laughing. We lay on the grass for hours, and Ella told me about all the foster homes she'd been in. My current foster parents aren't great either. They hardly do anything for me. If I need new clothes, I have to shoplift them. It's why I've been to juvie twice now. Wow, that sounds tough. It's okay. I'll be out of here someday, and I'll do something amazing with my life. But for now, I'm really glad I found a friend. She pressed my hand gently, and I felt all warm inside. Later that night when I got home, I almost screamed to find Darren in my room. Jeez, you scared me. Why are you here?
Why were you not here? You've been hanging out with that weirdo, haven't you?
Darren, it's none of your business.
Don't be mad at me. You know I only care.
Yeah, so I'm fine, right? Happy? Now please, go away. I practically pushed him out of my window. This boy was getting on my nerves. And the next day when I met Ella outside of school, Darren appeared out of nowhere and said he was coming along.
Nicole, why did you bring this extra package with you?
I didn't.
I don't want her to be alone with you, weirdo.
Are you her watchdog?
You sure smell like one. I'm her boyfriend. Nicole, I've been looking for the right time to say this. I know you like me too.
And with that, he suddenly kissed me. I instantly pushed him away. Are you crazy? Why would you think you're my boyfriend? Just stay away from me, loser. We were walking off when suddenly he grabbed my hand, and then Ella punched him in the face. We left him crying in pain on the ground. I didn't know what Ella had in store that day, but soon I realized where we were. Isn't this Principal Trent's house?
Yeah, girl.
Now tell me, how much do you hate him? A lot. Everybody does. But what are you planning to do, Ella? I thought we could be creative. You can draw whatever you want with this spray paint, my artist friend. I tried to talk her out of it, but she wasn't listening. She started without me, and it did look like a lot of fun. I joined in, and we both went crazy on the walls. Wow, what a thrill. This was so much fun, Ella. You are so much fun. She smiled at me, and she looked so lovely in the moonlight. Feeling impulsive, I leaned forward and kissed her. Then realizing what I'd just done, I pulled away.
What was that?
I'm so sorry. I don't know why I kissed you.
No, I mean, why did you stop?
She liked it. I pulled her close and kissed her again. It was the most amazing night. But the next day at school, I got a huge shock. I was called into the principal's office, and my parents were already there. And I was suspended for a month for spray painting his house. He had a video of me and Ella in action.
If it wasn't for Darren who gave me this video, I would have never had the proof to expel Ella.
Darren had followed us? Wait, Ella is expelled?
Yeah, she's been a problem since forever. You're lucky you're only suspended. I'm going easy on you because I know she's such a bad influence.
I got such a scolding from my parents, but all I could think about was Ella. Just when I was thinking of sneaking out to see her, I heard a tap on my window and Ella jumped in. Gosh, I'm so sorry you got expelled. Never mind that. Listen, my foster parents are kicking me out, and I'm gonna be sent to some other home far away. Ella, you can stay with me.
No, I can't. I'm running away, and I want you to come with me.
What?
Just think about it.
We'll never have to go to school. You can draw all day and... Ella, I can't just leave. I have my family here.
But I don't have anything here.
Nicole, why can't you just do this for me? I care about you so much, but I just can't. Just then we heard Mom's voice by my door, and Ella pushed me away and left. Mom came in to talk to me, and by the time she left, Ella was long gone. What if she couldn't find anywhere to go and ended up homeless on the streets? Without any hesitation, I sneaked out to the nearest police station. My friend ran away from her foster home, but she has no money. Do you have a shelter that can take her? She has long purple hair. I gave the police all the information I could about Ella so they could help her. They assured me that they'd keep me updated. But before they could, someone turned up at my doorstep the next day. Darren, what are you doing here, jerk?
I thought you might not have heard the news yet. Ella got arrested.
What? Why?
Apparently, someone reported her missing to the police, and when they found her, she had a bunch of stolen money and clothes in her bag. I told you that chick was trouble. It was stupid of you to reject me and go around kissing that weirdo.
I couldn't stand him anymore, and I gave him a hard slap. You never had a chance with me, Darren, because you're a creep. I slammed the door shut, but I could hardly believe it. Ella had been arrested because I'd reported her. She would never forgive me, and I'd never see her again. Seeing how miserable I was, my parents went easy on me, and I barely came out of my room the month I was suspended. But then one night, I suddenly got a text message from Ella. Sorry I've been missing. It turns out someone told the police my whole situation, and they're finding me a nice family for adoption. No more foster homes. And I know that someone was you, Nicole. Thank you. Can't wait to see you again. I saw Ella after a month at her new home, and she looked really happy. She lived an hour away from me, but I took a bus to see her on the weekends. And by the end of high school, I had hundreds of drawings of Ella. After graduation, I went to my parents with an admission letter to an amazing art school. I'd gotten in on full scholarship. I know you guys are disappointed that I'm not like you, but this is what makes me happy. Don't you want me to be happy? And suddenly my parents hugged me. Of course we do, Nicole. Your happiness means the most to us.
We're sorry we haven't said that before.